My name is Rachelle Smith, entrepreneur, professional speaker, and author. Last time, kicked off the series this year, the Tough Love Topics, by highlighting Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend's awesome book, Never Go Back. This time, I actually want to camp out here on this very important topic of authenticity. Because folks, I've done a couple of episodes on authenticity in the past, but I'm coming back to it. Because when I look back at my life, when I look back over my life, when I think back to my journey and just this whole transformation that has taken place in my life, as I often tell you, don't look at me today. Don't look at, don't look at my confidence. Don't look at my inner security and I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'll be the first to tell you, as you've heard me say many times, I have not always been this way. Believe it, folks. But when I think about the greatest transformation and just, in terms of where I was before and where I am now, the greatest transformation has truly occurred in the area of authenticity. And when I look at my life, when I think about how happy I am, when I think back to, years past when I wasn't always so happy, but that's because I didn't truly accept myself. And that's why I want to come back to this, because when I think about my own life, and I challenge you to think about your own life as well, obviously, when you think about how happy you are, how happy you're not, what you've achieved, what you haven't achieved, what you've done right, what you've done wrong, whatever the case may be, we're all imperfect human beings, all right? And so it's so important that we recognize the value of authenticity in our lives. And truly, that's a wonderful word, a big word, another way of saying the real you, not the mask that people like to put on, not the airs people like to put on and impressing people and making people think you're this and you're that, whatever. As the teenagers like to say, whatever. But folks, what I want to do, particularly in this first kickoff episodes here this year, on this topic of authenticity, is to look right into this camera with everything that is within me and tell you, you're good enough just as you are. Whoever, I don't know if it's a parent, a teacher, a friend, a mentor, whomever may have come along in your early formative years or even now as an adult, convinced you that you don't have what it takes, that you should be someone else, that you should be like someone else. Folks, forgive them. Forgive them. I want to go back to, Luke, the chapter Luke, where it says, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And so recognize, we've got to believe, yes, there's some people that are sociopaths and psychopaths that just really want to harm people and just, really cause irreparable damage in people's lives. But for the most part, people are doing the best they can. So whoever, if it's an authority figure from your past or even an authority figure from your present that has convinced you wrongly, okay, that who you are is not acceptable, folks, I'm challenging you right now to forgive them. Forgive whomever it was. All right. Fortunately, I was born with wonderful parents, a wonderful family who taught me, Rachelle, you have what it takes. You're a good person, whatever. I got those early messages, those positive messages early on. But I'll tell you, as I got older, as I got in high school, I fell into the same traps that other people fall into in terms of self-esteem and my self-confidence taking a hit. Oh, this person has this, or this person looks like that, and oh, I wish I looked like this, or I wish I looked like that. Folks, we've all been there. Okay, in the media, and of course, I'm a trained marketer from years ago, but it's like, the marketing industry and in the media, they portray these images where what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, and so folks spend thousands of dollars trying to be someone that they're not. And so I'm asking you today, how much of your unhappiness in life is you trying to be someone you're not? Okay, only you know the answer to that question. All right, but I just do know that when you think about your level of happiness, and you want your level of happiness to improve and to increase, this right here is a big one. Because you'll spend your lives, and I've done it myself, you'll spend your life doing what society thinks you ought to do and be and have, and chasing other people's dreams in terms of what society says you have to do and be, in order to be acceptable. But folks, the most powerful, most powerful decision you ever, ever, ever make in this life is to learn to love yourself in a healthy, balanced way and accept yourself. Because once you master those two, strike that healthy balance between the two, you will be unstoppable. All right? Because if you don't love yourself, you're going to run around looking for somebody to love you. All right? You're going to look for the love and adulation and applause, approval. You know, there's a whole concept that we'll cover later down the road this year called approval addiction. We're running around chasing everybody's approval. Everybody has to like me. Everybody has to tell me I'm acceptable in order for me to feel okay. Okay, that's all rooted in an inability to accept yourself. And when you accept yourself, when you love yourself in a healthy way, you know you deserve the best. You know you're imperfect. You know you have flaws. You know, again, you're wonderful just as you are, but we all need to improve. All right, and so it's so important as I make that statement, as I also say, you know, you're good enough just as you are, but you need to improve. So those two may sound like oxymorons and contradictory statements, but we always want to grow and learn and evolve, but not from a place of not feeling good enough and inadequate, but instead coming from a place of truly, sincerely desiring to be the best person that you can be. All right, because that's truly what I wake up every day. I'm always trying to be the best that I can be. Not waking up every day saying, man, I'm not good enough. I need to change this. This is wrong with me. I have this problem. I have this flaw. But that's where most people get stuck, in the inadequacy and inferiority and low self-esteem and self-loathing trap. All right, and we've all been there. And so, folks, I don't want, if you're there right now, you don't have to stay there. All right, I'm living proof of that. You can come up higher and say, hey, I'm imperfect. Yes, I'm far from perfect. I have flaws. I have hang-ups. I have this and that, but I'm okay as a human being. That is the people that feel that way are the most powerful people on earth. It's not about a job title. It's not about running this or running that. It's just truly, at the end of the day, how we feel about ourselves and accepting ourselves and being authentic and recognizing, okay, the real you is wonderful. It's okay to be you. It's okay to not wear masks. It's okay to be vulnerable and let people see the real you. All right, and you may not have a platform like I do, where basically I open my life up to the world and I'm vulnerable and I tell you about things, and sometimes I know you laugh and think, I can't believe Rachelle used to be that way. Yes, folks. For those of you who've known me a long time, you know, you've actually gotten some feedback from a couple of you saying it's very endearing for those who've known me a long time to watch these episodes. And so, because you know how far I've come. And so, folks, and I'm just challenging you today in this inaugural episode on these, just hitting this topic, this tough love topic of authenticity hard. Okay, whoever it was that told you the real you is not okay. All right, and perhaps even from those messages you've told yourself. Okay, you wake up every day berating yourself, hating yourself, wishing you were somebody else, wishing you had someone else's life. That is no way to live. Okay, that is a recipe for a miserable life. All right, and we know you don't want to be miserable. You wouldn't even be watching this if you wanted to be miserable and unhappy. All right, and live a negative existence. But I know that you want to improve. We all want to improve. But it starts with being real about who you are and where you are. What you need to change, where you need to grow. But you've got to be authentic and real in order to be able to do that. And so I'm just challenging you in the spirit of forgiveness, self-love in a healthy way, self-acceptance in a healthy way. 3 awesome ways, again, to really let your authenticity shine through it. I'm going to continue this series moving forward, giving you some examples of when I myself have certainly lacked authenticity. Sometimes I've made absolute fool of myself, and sometimes I've worn and burned myself out, you know, and everything in between. But I'll talk about that in future episodes. But I just wanted to challenge you today. Authenticity, authenticity, authenticity. Be real, folks. Be real with yourself. Be real with other people, because that's truly, truly where happiness begins. And I thank you so much for your time. Make it a wonderful day.